His name is Danny DeVito. He will defeat you if he wants, if he please. And if you don't give him his lemons, then he will break your knees. Your knees. His name is Danny DeVito. He really needs those lemons. And if you don't give them to him, he'll break your knee.
Hello, everybody. It is I, the Danny, here today because we have officially hit 1,500 subscribers. So today I am releasing never-before-seen footage of me making a Christmas beef Wellington and 1,000 layer potatoes. Get ready, strap in, because this is time for Danny Lee! Okay, so the first thing you're gonna want to do is get a bunch of potatoes and wash them. I did russet potatoes and golden potatoes. Okay, now you're gonna want to cut your potatoes. I am using a mandolin to do this. I highly recommend a mandolin. It gives you nice even slices every time, plus it's easy, fast, and efficient. And as a very lazy man, I can say it cuts down the workload a whole lot. 10 out of 10 recommend. Alright, so now you're gonna want to line like a bread pan or just a square pan with decently high walls in general. And you're just gonna want to line it with parchment paper. And after you've done that, you want to start stacking your potatoes. And every time you get one layer of potatoes, you want to brush it down with duck fat and salt it. And that's really all you need to do for this. And you want to just keep stacking it until you run out of potatoes or the pan gets too full that you can't physically stack any more potatoes on it. Now, the next thing you want to do is you're going to want to weigh down this luscious stack of potatoes. For me, that came in the shape of a small anvil I have lying around. Don't ask why I have it, I just do. In other news, though, you have to make sure it's even, so later on in life, I went back and I put a pan on it. But now, it is time for the duxelle. And basically for this, you're going to need a bunch of mushrooms. And you're going to want to chop them as fine as you can. So please enjoy this footage of me struggling for like an hour to slice and dice a whole bunch of different mushrooms into small enough pieces for duxelle. By the way, even after all this time, some of the pieces were still a bit too big. That's my bad. But yeah. Oh, and before I forget, you're also going to want to finely mince some garlic and shallots for your duxelle. As you can see, I wasn't kidding when I said a whole lot of mushrooms. But also, I want to make this very clear. I do not know, but I'm pretty sure there is no specific type of mushroom you're supposed to use. I just was out of town and I found a super neat store that had a variety of multiple edible mushrooms. So I got every one that sounded like it tastes good, and I just mushed them all together, as you're about to see. Alright, so now that you've chopped up your literal mountain of mushrooms to a smaller mountain of mushrooms, you're going to want to put oil in a pan and just let it heat up. And after it's heated up, you want to put your shallots and garlic in there. And you're going to want to sweat them until they until it starts smelling like beautiful. I'm sure you all know what beautiful smells like. Anyway, after they start turning roughly translucent and the garlic starts to brown a little, you're gonna want to throw your mountain of mushrooms in there. As you can see, I got a second pan. That's because some people in my family just do not like, onion and garlic, so I'm making a batch without onion and garlic for them. I do not recommend this unless someone just will not eat it with onion and garlic, or shallot and garlic. After a while, I thought it would be a good idea to put some Japanese Jack Daniels honey-flavored alcohol in there, simply so I could get the beautiful flambe in. I mean, just look at that beautiful fire go. Ain't it just beautifully purty? And I'm trying to use words to describe this that aren't beautiful, but I'm failing. No! Okay, and here you get to see my incredibly bad butchering skills put to work. Yippee! And now it's time to put a beautiful sear on our beef Wellington tenderloin thing. And I'm sorry, my voice is gonna sound pretty crappy from here on out. The carnival just left town and I screamed so much that my voice is gone. Also, use a non-stick pan. It makes your life a lot easier, as I found out the hard way. Okay, now after roughly 30 seconds on each side, your beef Wellington should be done searing. And from there you want to get a little bit of room on your plate, and you want some Dijon mustard. And from there you just want to cover your beef Wellington in that beautiful mustard. Now this part is where things get interesting. As you can see, I'm mixing up some crepe batter. And, yeah, you want to make some crepes for your beef Wellington. Also, I got this from a store-bought mix. You can see what they are. French crepe mix. You know how it goes. But after you get your batter, you're just going to want to cook it as you would a crepe. I admit, I'm no crepe expert, but I think the crepes that I made in this video turned out decently well. Except for maybe this first one here. It was, you know how they go. Your first pancake will never be your best. Okay, so now that you have your crepes all nice and made, you want to give a nice layer of saran wrap, aka cling film or whatever you call it, and you just want to layer some delicious crepes over that. And over the crepes, you're going to want to put some prosciutto. It doesn't have to be the highest quality prosciutto, just whatever prosciutto you can find. And yeah, you just want to layer it on there all nice. And after you have your prosciutto, you want to go in with your duxelle. And just like everything else, you want to spread it in a beautifully thick, awesome, delicious, tasty layer of mushroomy goodness. And when all is finally said and done, you can take your seared tenderloin, covered in mustard of course, and place it right on top of the duxelle. And then what's going to happen is you're just going to use the saran wrap to fold over everything, rolling it into one beautiful log of pure flavor. And now that you got your beef Wellington, you want to pinch the ends of the saran wrap, and you want to make this seal as tight as you can physically get it. You want to make sure everything is tight, tight, tight.
But now it is time for the beautiful red wine reduction sauce. So in the same pan as you cooked the beef Wellington in, you're going to want to put some, well, you could just reduce some wine and you'd have it, but I like to make mine fancy by first adding some demi-glace. That's right, demi-glace, a beautiful, beautiful thing. And then, I know I'm only 16, but you're going to want to go in with a full thing of red wine. And no, I do not support underage drinking. Do not do that. It is not okay. Anyways, it's flambe time, baby. That's right. You're going to want to set your beautiful sauce on fire. And look at that beautiful fire. Also, I like to roast a marshmallow over my fire while I cook because, yeah, efficiency. That was a pretty good tasting marshmallow. Anyways, you're just going to want to let this boil down for a good hour or two. Of course, do not forget to season your sauce. I may have accidentally added way too much salt right there, but in the end it tasted fine. So yeah, do not be light on the seasonings. It needs a lot more than you need, than you think, I promise. My to-go-to seasonings are salt, pepper, and of course MSG, the king of flavor. Yeah. Now you just want to let it reduce for a few hours. I already said that, but I'm saying it again because that's how you make the sauce. And finally, now that it's reduced a good while, you're going to want to add an entire stick of butter. You could add less, but I just like butter. So yeah, add an entire stick of butter in there, and yeah, life should be pretty good. And that's what your finished product will look like for the sauce. But now, my friends, it is time to start the beef Wellington in its final stages. Now that you've let your tightly wrapped Wellington rest for a while, you should let it rest in the fridge for roughly an hour. Should have mentioned that earlier, that's my bad. But you're going to want to get that beef Wellington on some puff pastry. And this is the moment I realized, oh frick, I don't have enough puff pastry. So one trip to the store later, and we have enough puff pastry. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a beautiful egg wash by just beating an egg in a cup, and you're going to want to cover all the puff pastry in egg wash. Okay, so now that you've got everything lovingly put together with the egg wash so it'll stick to the crepes, you want to do your best to fold it together. Try not to do what I do here and make it look like a complete push dip, because you at least want this to look nice. I mean, you're putting in so much effort for a delicious Wellington. But after that, you want to pull out some saran wrap or cling film or whatever the frick you call it, and you want to wrap it as tight as you can feasibly get it. No air bubbles, no nothing. And then you want to let it rest in the fridge overnight. Good morning, everybody. What is up? We are back. It is the next day, and here we are unraveling our beautiful Wellington, and we want to cover it with an egg wash as to make it look all pretty and beautiful. Next up, we got a sheet of puff pastry, and you're supposed to take a special roller, but guess what? I don't have that roller. So instead, I'm using a fork and occasionally a butter knife to print it together so it looks like the lattice. Then you want to put that over your Wellington, and you want to tuck the edges in nice and tight. And of course, you want to slab it all with egg wash. And I like topping mine with, of course, sea salt. Alright, next up, we have a Middle Eastern potato. Now you want to cut it very carefully as not to trigger the detonation. We don't want an appetizer situation on our hand. Anyways, after you've de-armed the detonation, you want to cut your Middle Eastern 1,000-layer potato into evenly sized slices. And then, yeah, you're good to fry them up. Alright, here we have a ripping hot skillet with some olive oil in it, and yeah, this was my first attempt to cook them, but as you will see, it didn't exactly go too well. After these potatoes tragically fell apart, I still salted them and they basically became like potato chips. But anyway, on an oven heated to 350 Fahrenheit, the beef Wellington goes in for the first half of its roast. Now every oven is different, so I can't give you an exact time, but a good thing to look out for is to make sure the crust is beautifully golden brown. Also, since my brain is big and large, I decided to switch to the deep fryer because it held their shape better. On the off chance that you don't have a deep fryer, heat a pot of oil and replicate these steps. Try not to burn your house down, though. I am not legally responsible for anyone burning their house down because they don't know how to properly deep fry things without a deep fryer. Anyway, we got the beef Wellington cooking, and we have to flip it halfway through baking so both sides evenly get golden brown. You may not have to do this with your oven, but I sure as heck had to do it with mine, because our oven sucks. This is what the finished product for the potatoes look like. Make sure as soon as they come out, you dump a whole load of salt on them. I managed to sneak one. They were obviously really good. Anything deep fried and potatoey and salty is probably going to be really good, but look at that. That, my friends, is the finished product of the beef Wellington in the flesh. Oh boy, if that ain't the most beautiful thing you ever seen and the most mouth-watering log you ever did see, then I don't know what you've seen in your life, but I need to see it too. Oh my heavens, I am way too hungry for this. Okay everyone, now this is the Christmas gathering for my family. Yippee. And now, we cut the beef Wellington. This end part is what is often referred to as the chef's special treat because it does not have enough meat to be served to everyone else. But it still tasted frickin' delicious. I decided to cut a second piece so we could get a proper cross-section. And let me tell you, this beef Wellington was the best I ever had. Now to some of you that may look raw, and I understand, but I cooked this to a level that's known as blue, and since I am a true caveman, I enjoyed the frick out of it, and against all odds, so did my family. So if you ask me, this Wellington is perfectly cooked. Put a bit of sauce on your plate with that beef Wellington and some potatoes, and you got one heck of a dinner. Hello everybody, it is I, the Danny. Now I'm here to tell you that, yes, technically, if you want to be technical, this is, my review of the Beef Wellington, but unfortunately I lost the audio, so all you need to know is that it was so good that I scarfed it down in seconds. I sincerely hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for 1,500 subscribers. I will see you all another day. Join Discord, TikTok, and most importantly the channel. And everyone, peace till a better day. Hello. This is the 28-minute mark of the video. If you're here, I can only assume that you are a fan of the channel, most likely subscribed. And if you are, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you so much. It has always been a dream of mine to be a YouTuber, and the fact that I have hit 1,500 subscribers is insane. I'm so close to 2,000. I can practically taste it. I'm just so grateful for each and every one of you who come watch, love, and support my videos. Thank you all. Thanks to everyone who's ever left a comment, left a like, watched my video. Thank you to everyone. If you found this message, then just know I appreciate ya. Peace.